Welcome back to Across Louisiana. You know, once in a while when you're doing this job, you get an opportunity to take part in a truly remarkable event. And I got that opportunity involved with the Cajun Classic Wheelchair Tennis Tournament. Really a remarkable event for the folks here, not only the tennis community in Baton Rouge, but the community in general. And here to tell us about this year's edition and more is Jennifer Edmonson. Welcome to the show, or back to the show, I should say.
Thank you.
This is such a great, it's an uplifting event. It really just a real sight to see. But for folks who might not be familiar with the Cajun Classic and sort of how it came to be, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, this is the 27th annual Cajun Classic Wheelchair Tennis Tournament here in Baton Rouge. It started with 5 local players,
right,
and it has grown in its 27 years. We're expecting more than 120 players representing 21 countries from around the world in the professional divisions and 24 of the 50 United States representing the amateur divisions.
Kind of a big deal, huh?
It is a big deal.
You know, it's been a real pleasure being familiar with this event, to see the growth over time in it, and it's just very inspiring. I mean, you know, obviously it may not be something that everyone thinks about, but for being a league tennis player out there, you see wheelchair tennis players out there, and I've always been amazed at the level of skill, the level of competitiveness that's going on. I mean, it's really a great event to watch.
It is, and tennis is such a wonderful sport because of the ability for it to include so many types of different levels of play, including people who are in a wheelchair. They have the same rules with the exception of they get 2 bounces,
right,
so you can play a tennis match with 2 people or 4 people in wheelchairs, or you can play with 1 person in a wheelchair and 3 people standing, able-bodied, we call that, up, down,
right,
and it's just the same game, and it allows everybody to be out on the court on an even playing field, and their skills are truly amazing.
There's no question about it. I remember being very, very impressed with the very high level of play that was going on out there, and you know, for anyone who's been around the game, it was a very familiar sight to it. I know you have a lot of exciting things coming up for this year's Cajun Classic, so give me some of the details on that.
Well, like I said, this is our 27th annual Cajun Classic. It's presented by the Greater Baton Rouge Community Tennis Association. And so in conjunction with that wonderful organization, we are able to host a week full of fun events. We will be hosting, as I said, 120 players and having lots of food and fun tennis, but we also have a special exhibition on Saturday, March the 19th at 12 o'clock. Mayor Holden will be out to give us a few, or to have a few players play some up-down, as I mentioned.
Right.
We're going to have a special guest, Chanda Rubin, a
wow,
former tennis pro, come in to play with us, as well as Catherine Seaberth, who's also a former touring professional, play with some of our wheelchair athletes, and we also have 2 of the LSU men's team coming to play with some of the wheelchair athletes. So that will be a nice program hosted again by Greater Baton Rouge Community Tennis Association, as well as Mayor Holden and our organization.
I touched on it briefly earlier, but I mean, talk to me, you know, part of that is as a result of this event. I mean, wheelchair tennis is something that has continuously grown here in Baton Rouge, isn't that right?
It is. It has grown a lot, and we're very proud of that. Our organization, the Baton Rouge Wheelchair Tennis Association, is a nonprofit run by an all-volunteer board, and that is our mission, is to promote and grow the sport of wheelchair tennis, both at the local level and at the state level, at all levels. And the local program here is held every Saturday, and for more information about that, you can visit our website.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for coming on and tell us all about it, and best of luck with this year's Cajun Classic. I can't wait.
Thank you so much. Thank
you.
you.
Sure thing. Well, when we come back on Across Louisiana, it's time for you to find out about Champions of Change. Don't miss it.